Hello, everybody. It is Renee, and I am broadcasting here from Las Vegas. And Dee is up in Medicine Hat, Alberta, and we are bringing you a show that I'm sure is near and dear to everyone's heart because Americans, particularly, we love our comfort foods. So Dee has prepared a special edition of comfort foods. And it kind of ties in with last week where we did the whole pumpkin spice stuff, and that was a big hit show. We got lots and lots of great feedback from that show. So Dee, how are you up there in the hat? What's going on?
I'm very well. It was a good work day. Nice sunny day, mild weather. So
Okay.
saw some fabulous people today in clinic, and yeah, good day.
All right. Well, it's a fabulous weather here. We're now in the 90s, which is a miracle in Las Vegas. But before we get started, I want to say hello to Renee. Hello, hello. And
Hello, Renee.
remember that we're going to be giving away a baking book on today's episode. But before we get started, and Dee doesn't even know I'm doing this. I thought we have been busily working on the final edits for Dee's low carb cooking book that is coming out. And I thought I would show you some of the great recipes that she has planned. Yes, Marie, you did see a mock-up of our recipe book that's coming out. So I just thought it would be fun to take a look at the table of contents. And these are these are the things that Dee has planned for us. So, none of these recipes that you're going to be looking at are going to have any kind of a protein packet in them. So this is all geared around that 8-ounce meal with 2 cups of veggies. And you can, split it up any way you like it. But I thought I would just kind of, put it up on screen and let you guys take a look at what Dee has going on. So we've got some beef recipes, chicken, fish, pork, and veggies. And then, of course, there's a whole list of sauces, marinades, dressings, rubs, all that are Dee's special, combinations. So do you want to talk just a minute about that, Dee?
Sure. I think it's really important as I'm excited. Thanks. It doesn't matter if you're doing, predominantly we have a lot of Ideal Protein followers, but I wanted to share recipes that I cook in my home, but that you can all cook no matter if you are on a losing weight phase, a stabilization phase, or well into maintenance. And all the recipes are really adaptable if you're in phase 4 maintenance, to add healthy fats if you wish to them, for example. So recipes that you can start using in phase 1, but continue to use when you're in phase 4. So I think it's the most important part of long-term health puzzle is choosing and eating whole foods. So whole choices of protein and fresh vegetables. So I just wanted to bring you something that really focuses on that. And then I'm going to work really, really hard to do an update on the baking one that has packets. So we're going to kind of keep these presentations separate for you. I think that will help a lot of you, and then kind of cut down on confusion as well. Yeah.
I know, I love it. So let's see. So Marianne asked a quick question. Can you talk about any sauces? Did you use Walden's or did you make your own?
So I make a lot of my own sauces, and sometimes there might be some Walden Farms ingredients in them. But we always will tell you, for example, maybe if you're in phase 1, you would use a Walden Farms, say ketchup. But if you were in maintenance, you can use regular or sugar. Well, you can still use sugar-free in phase 1. Just substitutes like that. Or I will make a peanut sauce that has Walden Farms peanut butter, but if you are in phase 4, you will sub real peanut butter. So I hope that helps. So they are totally amendable to whichever phase or lifestyle program that you are on. So they're all still low carb and low sugar recipes.
Awesome. And I'm just finishing up all the little edits. So hopefully the end of the week, we'll cross our fingers here for when we have a launch date. Joelle says that she just finished up from last week, or is it this week's show? I guess has the Chayote caramel mud cake cookies. Have to tell you, they taste like old-fashioned pot-infused cookies. Does that mean there's pot in them? This one kind of confused me.
Okie dokie. Pot-infused cookies.
You know, however you get high, doesn't matter to me. You know, we're all high on happiness here.
You know, it's actually a true story. So we have a client that uses that for medicinal purposes, and she sent me a message one day and said, and like literally typed like, dude, you need to make me a brownie recipe that I can out of IP. I was like, okay, can do, will do.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
All right. So if you are live, give us a hashtag live and tell us your nugget of wisdom that you found on this show. So as we go along, give us your hashtag live, your nugget of wisdom. And at the end of the show, we are going to pick the winner of a downloadable book, ebook it'll be the baking ebook, not yet the new ebook. So give us your hashtag live and your nugget of wisdom. So tell us what we got going on here, Dee.
That is candied cinnamon trail mix. So we are going to be fast approaching Thanksgiving, holiday seasons, Christmas. And in Canada, our Thanksgiving is really early. It is the 12th. The weekend is like the 11th, 12th, 13th of October. I know you guys aren't till late November, but we kind of are already preparing our clients for Thanksgiving with some fun, tasty recipes that they can use throughout this fall season. And so around the holidays, there are usually things like roasted nuts or candied nuts or sugared nuts or praline, whichever fancy word you want to use for sugar. So I thought that I would make a phase 1 rendition of candied cinnamon trail mix. Yeah.
It looks absolutely delicious. I know Dee was at a clinic up in Calgary, Avril's clinic up there, and she, how did it go over? You did this as a taste test, right?
I did. I took it with me, and her client sampled it at her grand reopening yesterday, and I'm pretty sure that Annette West is watching right now, and I just want to give her another shout out. So Annette West is from Okotoks, Alberta, and she is a faithful follower of our show, and she is amazing. She has lost over 105 pounds to date, and she makes and enjoys a lot of the recipes that we provide. And when she seen that I was going to be at Avril's clinic yesterday, she came to say hello and meet me. So I was just so tickled to meet Annette West, and she is just doing so amazing. And so it is so awesome to connect and see, these awesome people in person. It made my day. It really did. Yeah.
It is really, really neat when, we meet people that do watch our shows, and when I do my kind of coaching lives and I meet up with someone, it's a really special thing, because there might be just one or two things that we talk about every day, or like with Dee, she cooks all this stuff up, and I have no clue what's going on. But this is just like, it's secondhand to Dee to make really interesting things and to create all this stuff. And And I think it's really fun because people do really, really, really appreciate it. And Annette says they were absolutely delicious, pot or no pot. That's good. Renee says her hashtag live is learning to eat healthier. Oh my gosh, aren't we so lucky that we've come to a place where we actually really do like the things that we really have learned. And Joelle says her hashtag live is mashed rutabaga tastes like pot. I like it. And Joelle says her hashtag live is, I know I'm being silly, but they were very good to make 13 cookies. What she meant is for phase 1. Yeah, 13 cookies in one recipe. That feels like a binge, doesn't it? Marie says hashtag live is self-care is vital for success. And yes, it totally is.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about these guys here. Are these those cookies?
Yeah. So the caramel chayote cookie was a cookie that I created actually really soon after the caramel mug cake was introduced. And the first time that I shared them with the public was in actual April of 2016. So they have been around a while, and I see them circulate around. And I love to see that everybody shares and makes and loves these cookies. And, you know, when we have potlucks or open houses or gathering, or just like at Averil's grand reopening yesterday, when you have clients coming in to taste the food, it has been a favorite and a standby. They are simple to make. They store well. They're a nice soft breakfast cookie. You could make them into a muffin or a loaf if you prefer. So because I was making them to take to Averil's, I just thought that I would give you a little peek at them again, and they are in the first edition of the baking book as well. So they're an awesome treat. Makes a lot. They contain chayote squash, which makes them absolutely moist and delicious. Yeah, lots of flavor in that cookie.
Yes, Dee introduced me to chayote. And it's amazing in so many different ways. Annette says her hashtag live is, her nugget of wisdom is to plan ahead. Totally. Joelle says having these recipes are very important to keeping me on track and with something new each week to try, which is, it's variety is the spice of life. As
Yep.
we all know. So if you would like to get these recipes, remember all you have to do is type in the word newsletter. And so if you don't already get the newsletter, and just know that they come every Monday. So next Monday will be in your newsletter. And so here we have, tell us about this, Dee.
Well, so this is actually I didn't put that in. I want to try to leave the word faux out of everything, but this is my take on a sweet potato casserole for phase 1. And so again, that rutabaga puree is in here. I do like it better than turnips. Turnips are softer. They're a little bit more gentle of a vegetable. So I did chose to use rutabaga in this casserole. And there's a little bit of sweet and a little bit of savory in here, a little bit of egg, no ideal protein products, and you mix it up and you bake it just like you would a sweet potato casserole. And what I forgot to do, and it deserves a mention, is that traditional sweet potato casseroles will have like a praline nut topping on them, so a very sweet nut, and that is actually how the candied cinnamon trail mix came to life, is that I needed to create a sweet nut substitute for my rutabaga casserole. However, I forgot to sprinkle them over and take a picture because that was, so I will do another graphic, but that is an option. So you can, if you like, take a little bit of those candied cinnamon trail mix and sprinkle it over your, I did put that information in your actual recipe. So you're going to get that recipe. It just needs the picture to go with it. So yeah, so instead, that's just a little bit of the Walden Farm marshmallows put on at the finish and broiled for a little touch to firm up the top, just for that little bit of marshmallow sweet. So yeah.
Okay, well, Marie Ann says, always tell us where you guys are from. If you don't mind putting that in the comments section. Marie Ann says she finally found chayote at a local market, very limited choices. And Joelle says that Walmart always has chayote, which is awesome. I don't know exactly what Walmart, but yeah, okay. Renee's from Kansas.
Cool.
So yeah, if you have you have special stores in your area, it's always great to share, since we have people from all over the U.S. That are tuning in all the time. And so this looks super delicious.
Yeah, so cobblers. I don't really know anybody out there that wouldn't enjoy some type of a cobbler. And the beautiful thing about cobblers are there's really no right or wrong ingredients. So this one is a pumpkin cobbler, and the topping is made out of the maple oatmeal. And it is so simple to make. And really, really delicious. And one of the really neat things in this recipe is that you've already got the recipe from last week for your base ingredients for the bottom of this cobbler, and then you're just adding the oatmeal topping to it. You pop it in the oven and bake, and you're done. And it makes a huge serving of food. So again, for any of you that are already rolling into that colder weather and you're looking for some comfort breakfast, lunch, or supper, then these kind of recipes are for you. And then this picture is the cookie and faux fruit cobbler. So it's like a big old chocolate chip cookie on the top of the rhubarb and chayote mixture underneath. And I think we have one more picture where I actually...
So are these different cobblers?
You betcha. This one, yeah. This one's the pumpkin oatmeal.
Okay, so pumpkin oatmeal. Let me just put this up here.
Pumpkin cobbler.
They came in the same email, but I didn't know they were called different things. So, so pumpkin oatmeal cobbler. As you guys can see, Dee and I are like, we're on top of our communication. Tell me what this one is.
This one is the cookie faux fruit cobbler.
Cookie faux fruit cobbler. Ooh, okay. So tell us what's in this one.
That one has rhubarb and chayote in the base with a little bit of sweet, cinnamon and apple butter. And then I actually used the mug cake in the top batter because I had that on hand, but you could use plain pancake, chocolate chip pancake, or the caramel mug cake to make the batter that you dollop on top before you pop it in the oven. And I don't know if you have the other picture, but then I actually poured a little bit of the ready-made vanilla drink over this one Yep, right there.
Okay, so what's this one?
And oh, holy Moses, is that ever good? And so, you could, if you didn't want to use a little bit of a ready-made vanilla, you could use a little bit of the Walden Farm creamers or your 1 ounce milk allowance or unsweetened almond milk. But it was delish.
So wait, is it the cookie faux fruit?
Yeah.
Okay, with so that's that with the vanilla.
It was a splash of the ready-made vanilla drink, and then I just had the vanilla drink as my second packet. Finished it off later, but you could use your daily milk allowance, or you could also use your Walden Farms creamers if you wanted, if you like those, if you have those types of things in your fridge. So
okay.
yeah.
Wow, that looks like delicious. You could have that for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. So Kathy says, #live, love that we don't have to give up traditions and the things that we love during the holidays. And yeah, that is so, so true. And you know, quite honestly, if you just scroll way, way back, we've been doing this show now for over a year, you'll see last year's Thanksgiving show and all the recipes. And you know, there is no reason to not enjoy the holidays and to, you know, just do it your way. And these are all recipes that we can incorporate all along the way in real life. You know, I've been eating cauliflower mash for 20 years. So, you know, this isn't anything new. So, yeah, it's just really, that is a nugget of wisdom that we don't have to not enjoy our holidays, and watch everybody else doing, you know, doing stuff we wish we were doing. We can watch everybody else get a stomach ache. How about that?
Hi, Kathy.
So remember that we're giving away a baking ebook today. All you have to do is put in #live and then give us your nugget of wisdom that you have learned on this show. And if you are if you don't get the weekly newsletter and you would like the recipes, all you have to do is type the word newsletter, and it's going to send you a 2-part Facebook message where you have to say yes, and then you have to go in and click on the newsletter and subscribe to it. So we have about, I don't even know how many people. We have several thousand people that get our newsletter now, and it's awesome. All right. I always love Dee's muffins. And, you know, as you know, the recipe that looks most interesting and my favorite picture always is the ending recipe. So let's hear about these, Dee.
So this is actually last week's recipe that I just made in a little bit different presentation to take to Averil's grand opening yesterday at Positive Transformation. So the faux pumpkin pie really does taste like pumpkin pie. And a lot of the times when we say pumpkin pie, I mean, most people either like it or they don't. And so they either give you the thumbs up or they wrinkle their nose, you know. So this is the exact same recipe, just made into little tarts. So instead of rolling out the dough to fit my 6-inch pie plates, I rolled out the dough and cut them in nice little rounds and put them in a mini muffin tin and filled them. And those were the first samples gone yesterday. And the beautiful thing about the pumpkin pie recipe is that the vanilla drink mix packets are truly gluten-free, and all the rest of the ingredients in the faux pumpkin pie are also gluten-free. And of course, that's a very common thing that clients ask for, and just many of Averil's were looking for that type of a product as well yesterday. So I just wanted to show you that sometimes you can take a base recipe, such as the pumpkin pie, and turn it into something else. So whether it's you want to make a whole bunch of awesome little morsels for yourself, or you have a potluck, or maybe you have other family and friends that are doing this protocol with you. I have to say, one of the things that impressed me the most yesterday at the clients that came into Averil's open house, there was so many husband and wife duos or partner duos. And I just thought that was amazing, the commitment that they were giving each other. I loved it. That was, you know, another really good takeaway. So I just wanted to present something a little bit different for you. And then if you didn't want to make the crust, you don't have to. You can bake that delicious filling in a little ramekin or baking dish all on its own and enjoy it that way. So lots of options for you.
That's awesome. And let's see here. Joelle says, #live variety is the pumpkin spice of life. I like that line.
Yep.
You know, all of our listeners or viewers that that really check in with us every week. One of the things that I am a true believer in is what we surround ourselves with is what we become. And I like to go on my morning walks, and I like to listen to podcasts and a variety of different things that give me you know, just a positive spin on life, and that's all aspects of life. It's not just, are we dieting or are we, you know, working on, you know, losing weight, but all aspects of life. So, you know, one of the things I was listening to this week was a gentleman that said, if you want to change, if you truly want to change your life, change what you listen to, change what you read, change what you watch, and change who you surround yourself with. And Dee, I just, you know, right at the end, I know we always talk a little bit about things that are going on in our clinic or with our dieters or things that are coming up each week, but that was really the thing that I wanted to add this week is, if we truly want to make permanent change, sometimes we have to really dig deep, and we have to let some stuff go. And in you know, in shedding our pounds, a lot of times there's a lot of other stuff that we are shedding. Maybe I could get some of your words of wisdom in that area.
Okay, I'm going to give you some of my own personal experience, because I have been somehow involved with IP since 2011. And I am kind of a jack of all trades person. I can do a lot of things quite well, but haven't really found, you know, that my passion or my sweet spot or my niche. And one thing that this journey, and not just about getting healthy journey, has brought me, but it has introduced me to so many amazing people. So whether it's mentors or clients, coworkers, friends, and they are inspiring, they are helpful, they are intriguing. Many of them, such as Renee, have really worked hard with me to push me out of my comfort zone, and you know, sometimes give me tough love, and I need that a lot. I think that is something that we don't like to hear it, but we know it, and it's really good advice, and it's great. Like, it's so good to have people, you know, you've all seen that graphic that says, you know, about your circle, you know, your people in your circle should be your biggest fans, and if they're not, you need to get a new circle. I could preach that every single day, because if you have family and friends that are bringing you down, they're no good for you. They're no good for your life. They're no good for your physical health. They're no good for your mental health. They're no good for your getting healthy journey. And so really embrace those people that come into your life and that are your cheerleaders. You know, surround yourself with people that want you to be successful, and that's in any facet of your life. So whether it's your health journey or your job or the things that you're passionate about when you're not working, it's so important. And it's taken me a long time to learn that it's okay to be okay with the things that you love. And when you're doing things that you love, people are going to notice what sparks your life. And so if somebody points that out to you, roll with it, run with it, and embrace it. Yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So, it's interesting that you say that. Joelle says, wow, Dee, I needed to hear this today. Yep. We all need to hear it. But we all know that Dee actually has found her passion.
Yeah.
And when I met Dee a couple of years ago, I was just like, this lady needs a platform. And the more that we talked about it, and she just kept saying, I want my own cookbook. I've dreamed about writing my own cookbook my whole lifetime. And for me, I always wanted to own my own business. I can remember being 13 years old, telling everybody I was going to own my own business. And, I started my first business at 24. I am a serial entrepreneur, and that is my passion. So Dee, you do know your passion.
Yeah.
And it's, what is really cool. It's good to be good at a lot of, or a couple of different things.
Mm-hmm.
You are definitely a passionate coach. Your coaching skills, and we all are here striving to be better, and none of us are perfect, and there's no perfect packaging, there's no perfect book cover to look at. Yeah. And yes, Marie, it's so important for women to support women. It took me into my mid 30s to surround myself with women that lifted me up and made me better. Deb says those who take you down just need to be converted into healthy life. Yeah. That's right. That's
true.
Such a great attitude, Deb. Instead of pushing them to the side, just start converting them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it really truly is what we surround ourselves is the direction that we head. So on that note, we've actually taken only 30 minutes today. Woo!
That's amazing.
Again, we will let you know just as soon as the new cookbook is out, and we're looking forward to sharing with you some more goodness. It will be another ebook again. It's formatted perfectly for that presentation folder that you can purchase at your local store, and I know Dee has some really great ideas for ways to print it, and we'll oops, sorry. Oops, I took down the wrong person.
We lost her. We lost her, Renee. Yeah. We'll see. There we are.
Dee will be sharing, and we'll be doing some lives on how to, make your own ebooks and put them into a real book format, and doing some different things. So if you're a publisher out there and you want to publish and give, or if you have published and you have some ideas for ways that we can do a published book that would be easy for us, something self-published. Dee and I are not in the shipping business, so we have looked at different formats, but so far ebook is where it's at for us, and it's so changeable too. And then we can add to it. So we'll be updating the baking book and doing some ads to that too. So anyway. Thank you, everybody. As always, thank you so much for coming and being with us each week. And of course, hit that share button, share it out to all your friends and family and businesses. And thank you to all the Ideal Protein clinics that share us every week. Thank you, Dee. Your
thank you, Renee.
Amazing. I wish you were here to cook for me, but oh well.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us. This is one of my favorite cooking seasons.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
So you know what's going to happen here with football season and Thanksgiving coming up.
Lots of good food.
All right, you guys.
Okay.
Bye.